All right. Hey, y'all. It's your boy Wise, and we are back for the Triple Dose podcast. Uh, as you guys can see, we're coming with some new things. We're trying. So bear with us this evening as we get through. As you can see from our illustrious graphic image there, we are going to be spending this podcast talking about the album Cowboy Carter from Miss Beyonce. But before we jump into that, I want to check in with my brother and my sister and let's see how everybody's doing since we've been blessed. Our ears have been blessed with the Cowboy Carter.
I've been doing great. So spring break this week. So it's been nice to have some time off work. The parents came down for 4 or 5 days to visit with me, and we did some stuff around the house. And I had my headphones on most of the time, just listening to Cowboy Carter and getting my entire life.
I really can't complain because Beyonce gave us this gift, okay? And, obviously I didn't have spring break. I was at work all week, whatever. But I've been listening to this every day. It's been getting me through. I can't complain. It was a good week. I'm spending this weekend trying to just kind of relax and get prepared for the next week. Feeling good, feeling great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I was on spring break this week also, and I took my first little ever solo little trip by myself. And I rented a cabin and I was in the woods and I did some hiking, communed with nature. Even though with some little kids out there, it was getting on my nerves a little bit, but it was fine. I had a great time, relaxed, relating, and releasing. And I also throughout my trip back, while I was in the cabin, while I was actually hiking, I had one of my AirPods in, left one out because you got to hear your surroundings. But I had one in, one out, and I was listening to Cowboy Carter on my hikes. And I am ready to dive into this discussion about Cowboy Carter. Now, I'm gonna bring this back up because I want to talk about the album cover and also the track listing because we got those before the album came out. And I don't remember when we recorded last if we had seen the album cover or the track list.
We did.
We have. Okay, so we don't have to spend too much time on it, but I just wanted to share when you guys saw this, audience, you're seeing this. What was your first thoughts?
Well, before we get into our thoughts, I want to make to the audience, we haven't discussed this together. So this is like a real life conversation. So we purposely for the last week and a day just listened on our own. So we were going to be hearing each other's points of view and thoughts in real time. So just kind of put that out there. Sorry.
Yep. No, you're fine. It's good.
I think when I first saw the cover, because we talked about the two different covers. Obviously, she had two different covers. But I was excited. I was like, okay, this is Act 2. But I was just like, what are we about to get? Because Beyonce loves to just keep taking it up a notch each and every time. So I just kind of got excited. I love the visual. I love the beautiful horse that she was sitting on.
And can we get into her hair? Because people weren't liking the hair, but I love the hair. Do you remember she was doing a couple of months ago on Instagram, she kept just going places and she was taking these photos and she had this is that what color is that?
It's white almost.
It's almost white, but I loved it. But people were not liking
they hated it.
But I loved it on her. I think it made her look a little younger. I just think that it brought out all her her great features. And then now that we have the album, I think it makes total sense as to why she did that with her hair color.
She's so intentional. She knows what she's doing. She was getting prepared for this rollout.
Yes, and I don't know why. And I've learned to stop doing this. I mean, we do speculate, of course, but it's all in jest. But I think sometimes people take everything so deeply and so seriously. And it's you guys just gotta wait a second. Let the art do its thing because we didn't want Beyonce here. Right. And she is going to give us everything that we need. I've never been disappointed by her. And this, album rollout is no different.
No different.
All right, so are you guys ready to jump into the track list?
I'm ready.
Are you ready? I have it pulled up here. This is the Cowboy. This is a screenshot that I literally took from Beyonce's Instagram. I left the Beyonce up there because I don't want no copyright. Listen, this is Beyonce's image, okay? And we were, when this dropped, of course, it was before we heard the album. So we're like, are these all songs? Are these interludes? Are these features? What do the colors mean behind the songs? And now we finally know.
Mm-hmm.
Track number one, American Requiem. What did we
So
let's
let
go.
me just say this. When I start when track one played, first of all, the name of it all, I said,
Okay.
"Wow, this is a lot. This is heavy." I mean, requiems. I mean, that's very
First of all, did you know what that was? Because I had to Google.
I did.
Okay.
Um,
I did not know.
and I'm gonna tell you, I did not know either. So I said I'm learning new things. Mother is
New
teaching
things.
Mhm.
because I was like, what is requiem? Let me look this up.
So for those who don't know, let me just real quick,
Mhm.
since I did my Google schmoogles, a requiem is apparently a mass that honors the dead. Okay, a
Mhm.
mass that honors the dead. And now that I say that mass, I think there's some themes there that are going to continue to streamline that I picked up on later. But yes,
Yeah.
American Requiem is a mass for the dead.
So when the song started playing, I immediately started getting a vibe of it. Didn't give me country. It gave
Mhm.
me rock. It gave me Queen Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes.
If you know that song, especially just the I don't even know what the musical instruments that they're using or what the tool they're using is, but it's this Freddie Mercury is singing and his voice is Beyonce is mimicking or not mimicking, but it just sounds very akin to the beginning of Bohemian Rhapsody where we have that intro and then it goes into the actual rock song.
Mhm.
Same thing at the beginning of American Requiem, it has that feel to it before you get into this rock feel.
Mm-hmm.
Is that accurate?
I would
Yeah,
agree. I think
yeah.
I put on my note also that it reminded me of Bohemian Rhapsody. I think it's because of uh, the she it's like it's almost harrowing the way the
Mhm.
harmonies are stacked. It
Yes,
sounds
the
a little
harmonies.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and it really
Harmony.
reminded me of, like you said, Queen. It was very rock
Mhm.
influence for me. Even the organ sounds at the beginning sounded kind of like a mass. I mean, it was
Mhm.
just it was a heck of an opener for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think for me, and this might be like one of the things that I just feel like is resounding to me throughout the album, but even with this song starting, it's just the pen game. I I feel like I just have been impressed more and more with the pen game, and I know that Beyonce collaborates with people, and she does
Mhm.
a lot of her own writing and things like that. But I think that she really is making you think.
Mhm.
She's really trying to get to your heart and like make you sit and think about some things. So that is really what it started off out for me as like, girl, what did you talk about? Like, let's get
Mhm.
into this. Like, you know, um, and it also to me, when you say American Requiem, it made me think about now this is the America has a problem that we
Right.
thought we was getting on
Of Act
Renaissance.
2,
Right.
This
right?
is what we thought we was getting. She's talking about American Requiem. Like,
Mhm.
oh, we in trouble.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
then
speaking
okay.
speaking of the pen game, I as I was taking my notes, on some of the songs I would write down little like quotables or parts that really stood out to me. And of course, on American Requiem, once the beat drops and we get the whole rock influence, she said when I first came out, they said I talk too country. And then when the
Mm-hmm.
critiques came, now I'm not country enough. And that's when I said, Beyonce, what they really set my
Mm-hmm.
girl off at the CMAs,
They
and she's
did.
coming, for their
Mm-hmm.
head. She's coming for the
They
next.
did. They
Mm-hmm.
did.
And for her to say that on this song, the first song of the album, calling it American Requiem, like we invented this. This is our genres, all this music, and y'all trying to exclude us and put us in boxes.
And
Beyonce's not for that.
and then so after the beginning of the song, the beat starts to sound more rockish. You hear the
Mhm.
guitar and all that stuff. And to me, it was Beyonce is growling,
Mm-hmm.
she's screaming, and like how rock singers do.
Yep.
And it
Mm-hmm.
was giving me Aerosmith. it was giving
It's
me
giving Kiss, girl. It's
it was
giving.
giving Kiss. It was giving
Mm-hmm.
Aerosmith. It was giving Kiss. I was like, okay, I see what you're doing. And so when she said on her Instagram post a few weeks back that this is not a country album, it's a Beyonce album, and then she said that she was mixing and blending the genres,
Mm-hmm.
you can clearly see that she was
Mhm.
Clearly.
mixing and blending the genres because beautifully done.
All up and through too,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
all
oh
up and
yeah,
through.
all up through the whole album. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think too, like a lot of the content speaks to so many different things. Like
Mhm.
not only just her feeling like, y'all try to shade me, when I did this country thing. But even when she was saying, when I first came out, I was too country. People used to make fun of the way she talked. People used to say she was stupid, or she wasn't smart because of the way she would talk. And this is just like in your face. Like
Yeah.
I just, so yeah, I really did love the song. And then just again the words, so I think they just kind of sit with me, and I feel like as I continue to listen each time, I'm getting more and more downloads of what this could be talking about, because it could be many different things, but it's just making you think more and more.
I'll say one last thing about listening. My suggestion is that you listen with headphones. Like, you can, if you listen in the car or you play it on your Bluetooth and around the house, it sounds amazing. Don't get me wrong. But when you put on a good pair of headphones and really listen, you can hear just the subtleness in the background vocals. You can hear the subtleness of other instruments that you might not have picked up on. So my suggestion is, really, if you haven't, listen closely with a good pair of headphones to do that, because I think that it enriches the experience.
I would agree with that. And just lastly, too, this is like what he said. It's only been a week and a day. Actually, I think I didn't start listening until Saturday, so it's only been a week for
Same
me.
here.
Yeah.
And this is our first initial like week one with the album, okay? Because like Tori said, you get those downloads, or you listen more and more again, you hear these different elements and different things. I mean, I was just picking up on backgrounds earlier today that I didn't hear before, for whatever reason. So I feel like, I encourage you, because it is different, and I'll talk about this later on some of the other specific songs. Like, sometimes it takes a couple times for you to even feel the song in the first place. I can't listen one time and have a full-fledged opinion. It's just, it's a lot. All right, so let's continue down the track list. Let's bring up the track list. Track number 2, Blackbird. A cover from Paul McCartney and the Beatles. Just a little brief history that we learned. Because Beyonce's educating. I'm never really listened to the Beatles like that. No shade. I'm only 28, 27. So that's just a little bit past my time, okay? But apparently this song was written by Paul McCartney during the civil rights movement, and he was seeing I think some like the Little Rock Nine, and some of those young girls who were integrated in the schools, and he wrote this song to inspire them. And Beyonce took it and did her version of it with some other Black country girls, Tanner Adele and Brittany Spencer, and they did their version of this song. And what were your guys' thoughts about Blackbird?
I thought, and I could be wrong, because we all have our theories, but it was definitely making me feel that she was referring to maybe some of the feelings that she had regarding the CMAs, or just even the genre, the country music genre, and the idea of her not being wanted as a Black woman to sing these songs. That outcast of it all. I think that was really what I took away from the song in terms of meaning. She sang beautifully, absolutely beautifully.
And I think to piggyback off what you said about the parallels of like being the outcast and her going to the CMAs, to me, because I did learn about the Beatles, this is the cover of the Beatles, and I didn't know that before. But when I think about that, I'm thinking about the parallel of the Little Rock Nine and how they were the first to go to this desegregated school in Arkansas, and how what they faced trying to go to school, and how like even after the law said, they were going to prohibit segregation, these people were trying to go to school and get their education. And even when it was the law that they should be able to go, they still face scrutiny. They still face discrimination. They still face people being harassing them and just trying to stop them from doing what they rightfully had the right to do. And so paralleling that with Beyonce going to the CMAs and feeling like, I'm still feeling like, ooh, they a little racist. They don't want to accept me. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm literally singing my song, that just meant something more, I think, for me. And then she did include also the other Black country artists on the song who were sound beautiful as well. To me, I thought they did a beautiful job. I think that once I learned more about the background of why the Beatles kind of sung that song, and it was written by Paul McCartney and everything, that had so much more meaning for me. I think I became emotional, like,
Mhm.
because she talked about, you've been all waiting for this moment, thinking
Mm-hmm.
about what it's like she's taking me on a journey, thinking about the struggles, that people had to go through and people still do today. She's
Mm-hmm.
saying it's like she's saying like
Mhm.
we're still doing this
Yeah.
today.
Absolutely.
So for me, I loved it. I did have such an emotional response, and like we'll go through all the songs. I feel like I've had a lot of emotional response through this album.
I would agree with that too, and I think it's so what's even more impactful or like more powerful of the message of the song in this particular case is that she did include those other black country artists who like
Yeah.
are severely underrated, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's like we're here, we've been doing this, we're a part of this, and we've been waiting for this moment. And I feel like it was so um just I mean, I'm sure they feel so honored. It was just a humbling experience to
Mm-hmm.
be ushered in this way to be by
Mhm.
Beyonce, into this music industry. It's like, I mean, if I was one of them, I'd be like tripping out, you know what I mean? Because it's like even Beyonce, who is Beyonce, was
Mhm.
still having to prove
Still.
herself to still having to prove herself in this genre in this particular way. And even when we watched Renaissance the movie Act One, she talked about in that like having to prove herself still,
Mhm.
about things and having her fighting to have her voice be heard. So it's just like, man, on one hand, it's like, oh, you'd be like, dang, we still got to go through this. But then it's like, it's also like empowering to know that you're not alone, that even people at Beyonce's level still have to,
Right.
prove themselves
Mhm.
and struggle. And it makes you feel like, we're all in this together to some degree.
Mhm.
I love Blackbird. It is a beautiful song.
It
Just the way
is.
they sung it, I hear it ringing in my ear all your life. You've been waiting for this moment to arise. I just
Mhm.
love that so much. And I love that sentiment.
Mhm.
All right, here we go. Track number 3, 16 Carriages. Now that we talked about it, I think when after the single came out, but now in context of the album, has your thoughts or feelings towards 16 carriages changed? Do you appreciate it more? Did it illuminate something new for you being coming after Blackbird and being in track number 3 on the album?
I think this is for me, and this is the first week, obviously.
Mhm.
This is an evolving listening experience.
Mhm.
Like
That would
it
be
is
correct.
very evolving. Because when I heard the single, I loved it, but I think it does mean a little bit more now that I'm listening to it in the context of the album. Um, and obviously, I love guitars. Just
Mhm.
that's just me. I love the guitar as an instrument. Like I always said, if I ever could play an instrument, that's the one I would want to play. And that is that
I
guitar.
tried. It's hard.
Woo, in this song, I just love it. But in this song for me, I think what stood out to me was the storytelling again.
Mhm.
I love the storytelling. Obviously, I kind of think she is talking about her growth as an artist, her growth, her work that she's done. But I also still am going back to paralleling it as a black woman in America. And you talked about being, overworked and underpaid. You
Yeah.
talk about all these hours and these fights you got to go through, and I think that she's able to again she's able to touch those things that make you say, she gets it. She
Mhm.
still, even at her level, understands the struggle
Mhm.
um that we all go through. So yeah, for me, again, like I said, it's kind of evolving. Every time I'm listening, things are evolving, but at this point, that's kind of what I'm getting from it.
You just kind of took the words out of my mouth. So when I first heard the song absence of the album, I'm like, oh wow, this is a really personal song, that she's writing and she's has sung about her experience in the industry and being
Mhm.
starting so young and having to give up so much for this career, her art. And then when you hear it in the context of the entire
Mhm.
album, it's like, wait a minute. Although that might be true, she's not the only person who has done that, right? It's
Mhm.
like then as you listen to it, it's like, okay, there's this greater message to be had, or this greater message to understand is that like how many of us in our respective places or careers or our different communities or societies have had those similar and same experiences. And so that kind of illuminated for me as I listened to it. And I also say, and I could be totally wrong, but to me, this was the first song that sounded country. Like the first two really didn't give me country, but once we hear the guitar in this one in the beginning, I got, okay, this is the country song.
You know, I think hearing this 16 Carriages in this context kind of opened up the project for me. I felt like this is when I started to get the feeling that it was more cinematic. Like to me, this felt it opened up the world of like what this is going to be. And it was just, I found it more beautiful listening to it in that context of the album than I did before. I mean, I loved it before. Right. It was my favorite of the two singles. But when I'm hearing it in this context, kind of like what you were saying, was it kind of opened up my perspective. And I'm like, okay, we're entering a world of storytelling here that is much bigger than what I was anticipating. And my favorite line of this song that is just going to be my anthem is, I might cook, I might clean, but I still won't fold. Let me tell you something. That is going to fortify me. Wise, you are going to go through ups and downs, but you are not going to fold.
Right.
And that just, I mean, I'm getting chills thinking about it. But like when she said it, I'm like, oh my goodness, Beyonce, you just gave me something. You just fed me. Because listen, it's hard. Life is hard. It be lifing. And I be needing those little gems to remind myself, I'm like cooking clean, but I'm not going to fold. It's just not going to happen. Not going to happen. All right, let's head on to track number 4. Protector. Featuring Rumi.
Protector. This was another emotional response.
When you talk about emotional, baby.
All I could think about is just how emotional. Obviously, you know, Beyonce's not new to doing odes to her kids and her music and her albums. Because I remember on Beyonce, so Tidal, she did the Blue, and that was emotional for me too. Like, so I was like, I think I cried on that one. But so this Protector too, like that one, it speaks to me. I think again, beautifully written, evokes a lot of emotion, and I mean, there's not really much more I could say. I just think it did evoke a lot of emotion. It was a beautifully written song to me, and I loved it.
It just made me think of. So in the beginning of the song, Rumi says, "Mommy, can you sing the lullaby, please?" So then Beyonce goes on her and sing the song. And then it got me to thinking about, this is crazy. Not crazy, but I was thinking about being a kid and mama singing lullabies to me. Like I was just thinking about like, I'm not going to even try to sing, but you are my sunshine song. And like, I just have these memories of her singing that. And then Beyonce says, I guess the line that kind of got me was, even though I know someday you'll shine on your own, I'll be your projector. And I was like, oh my goodness. And it's like, I'm not a parent, but I can imagine what you feel like when you have a kid and how you want to protect them, and then how you want to, you know, help them along the way. It was just a beautifully written song and a performed song. And we see a lot of people on social media reacting to it and crying as they listen to it because it makes you think about that.
I totally agree. I mean, I felt the same way, same emotionals. I was on the verge of tears. It's so beautiful, and that to hear that sentiment, I think even as like, you know how people talk about like healing your inner child and all of that stuff, and like sometimes you'd be like needing to hear, if you hear that, you know, in your mother's voice or in somebody that, you know, your father's voice, whoever cared for you, like it touches you in a different way. And when she said, "There's a long line of hands carrying your name," that maybe got me to think about the ancestors. And anytime I think about the ancestors and the people that came before me, you know, that our ancestors were slaves and all of the stuff that they went through and they endured to uphold us, you know, from that, just, I mean, that takes me down every time. So I'm gonna have to stop talking about it because I feel something. But you know, it's just again, just widening the net of like, oh, this is different from beyond. I mean, it's different. It's hitting different. And then she turns around and gives us My Rose.
Now this one will make me cry.
Yeah.
And it's not even a long song. It needed to be a longer song.
Okay. Where is the full version?
It's a minute and some change. And I'm like, And then I don't have the CD yet, but according to social media on the CD, the song is called Sir Carter. Am I correct?
My Sir, I think it was
Okay,
called
oh,
My
called My
Sir.
Sir. So then let's just
Mm-hmm.
know, okay, the song is for her son.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, I think it's vulnerable. Um I can't even, because I don't want to talk about it too long, but the lyrics are so beautiful,
Beautiful.
and um she loves her son. That's all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say.
Yeah, I think this one was an emotional one for me too because I know it was an ode to Sir. But again, this is music and it's art and it can apply to so many different things
Yeah.
and you can touch on so many different
Mhm.
emotions. And so, for me, because I'll get emotional. But when she talked about, why do you let you get yourself down?
Gemini, I'm about to cry because I'm like, does he feel
Right.
that way as a kid? I go, he's so young,
But not even I'm thinking about
I
yes
don't,
as a kid, but even just as a person, as an
in
adult in
general.
Adulting.
life,
Yeah.
like it speaks to so many things.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the line that I love too the most I have wrote down it was when she said there's so many roses,
Yes.
but none to be picked without thorns. So be
Mhm.
fond of your flaws. And I'm just like, that's so real. Like
That's what
that's
got
so
me.
real.
That's that's
Like
that's the quote I wrote from that song.
And that's something a mother would say though. So even though I
Yes.
know it's
mhm,
in general, right? But that is totally something that your mom or a mother would say to you
mhm,
because they don't see your flaws like we do, like you see your own. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
right.
It was
And the
just such
crazy
a
thing
thing.
about it for me too is that like when you were young or as a teenager, you going through whatever, trying to figure out, or even in your early 20s, because that's rough too, trying to figure out stuff, and you focus so hard on all the things that are not going right, and then
Mhm.
somebody
Mhm.
says that to you, and then you hear it, but it don't it. I feel like when you get to your late 20s, stuff start hitting different,
Yeah.
and that
Yes.
it's hit stuff like that is hitting me different now
Yes.
than it would have 10 years ago because I don't know, your mindset just changed and
It
you kind of
changed.
settles into
Mhm.
yourself and you start to realize that those things are true, even though it sounds kind of cliche, but it's like
It
no, when you
does.
hear it, like no, there
Mhm.
isn't a rose to be picked without a thorn. You're gonna have a thorn. Which you
And and it's so like because like you said, as you get older, you realize how you don't have to be perfect. Like,
Mhm.
you don't have to be like everybody got their own issues and things going on. Everybody has flaws.
yeah,
And it just speaks more and more to this perfection thing that people strive so hard for. And it's like that's
doesn't
not life.
exist.
It's not real.
Yep.
Like, so like, don't get down. Like
Mhm.
you don't have to be perfect. So, I loved it in so many ways. Cause again, I know it's an ode to Sir, ode to her child, but also it just flows to so many other scenarios.
Absolutely. And speaking of flowing, we get our first flowing interlude,
Mhm.
Smoke Hour.
Mhm.
What did you guys think when you first heard Smoke Hour, the little interlude?
I loved it because it first of all it gave the old school vibe with the radio static and the switching of the stations.
Yeah.
But then we hear clips of five different songs, five different um either blues or rock, country songs in the background, all of which I believe are black artists, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that was just a kind of a cool homage, for you, if you will, to these people and an ode to them, if you will. And so then, of course, Willie Nelson, the legend, country legend, guitarist, vocalist, Willie Nelson is our radio host, our MC, our DJ. And so that was kind of cool that she was able to get him to, do that. And I hope, well, I don't say I hope, but I wonder if that choice or the fact that he did that might have caused some of the people who were just so totally against her, seeing that, okay, this legend, this musical legend, has lent his vocals multiple times
Yeah.
on this album, that maybe if he can co-sign her, that you all should kind of give
Mhm.
give her a chance.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it was just cute. I thought it was a cute little piece, a little addition. I do feel like though again, that was also a move too on Beyonce to kind of
Mhm.
pay her homage to the greats in the
Mhm.
country music genre. Because it's like I'm giving you flowers too. I'm showing, giving you respect. But also it's kind of like, you know, him tipping his hat off, like he agreed to do this and sign off. So like maybe other people can kind of come in and, you know,
and it's just
listen.
And with those 5 excerpts to show that this is black music, right? Like, so the again going back
Mhm.
to, you know, how you guys said she wasn't country enough, or why is this black woman performing at the CMAs? Well, hold on here. We have some history here that you all might not know about, but let me introduce you to this history so you know that I belong here, they belonged here, and whoever else is coming up next also should be here.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, I have this theory. I don't know. This is why you got to listen to it several times because I don't know how strong my hypothesis is for this. However, I got the feeling that some of these interludes, I mean, some of them are more explicit than others, explicitly like transitioning to a different stage or a different sound. So I felt like the first 5 songs that we got kind of they go together in a specific way. They're slower. They're heavy on the storytelling. I mean, the whole album's heavy on storytelling, but you know, I feel like this interlude, the first Smoke Hour, kind of ushers us into this next part of the album where we kind of get a little bit of a different feel.
Yeah.
And we kick off the second. I don't want to say second half, but you know, the next phase of the album, with the second single that we got, Texas Hold'em. How did Texas Hold'em hit for you in the context of a Cowboy Carter Act 2?
Well, this is definitely a country song.
For sure, right?
Definitely.
It kind of reminded me of like you know, square dancing at 6th grade camp. I don't know if y'all did that square dancing at 6th grade camp.
Lord.
But I kind of felt like, oh, you swing your partner around and around. Like it definitely felt like that real you know, country vibe that the more traditional sounding of the country vibe that, you know, you would get. And I really again love how the song plays out and how it's, you know, slows down at the end and kind of gives us that first little country, full on country feel of the album.
It just sounds like a good old time, you know, like we all, you know, get together down at the bar or whatever. We got our little boots on and we gonna dance and have a good time, you know. That's what it gives me. I know that was the one of the 2 singles that she initially had dropped. Now I did kind of prefer 16 Carriages over this when it first came out. And I mean, still kind of feel that way. I like the song. It's cute. It's a little cute, you know, a little bop, you know, but it does give me like, you know, let's just have a good time, throw this music, dance, drink, you know, put you in a good little mood.
And I think that it was a good single because I think what we were expecting, it's giving what we were expecting, right? Some of the other songs on the album were complete shocks.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think it would have been smart to do that because it would, you know what I mean? It wasn't fitting the theme that we was going for.
Yes. And that's funny because that's what my homegirl told me. She was like, girl, she listened to the album before I did. And she said she was at work listening to it. And she was like, I listened to it one time. She was like, and I just had to run it back again. She listened again. And I was like, girl, I haven't listened yet. I was telling her how we were trying to wait to like listen and do all this stuff.
Right.
And she was like, girl, she was like, this Beyonce played with us. She was like, them 2 singles she dropped.
Oh yeah.
She was playing. And I was like, girl.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was like, I can't wait to listen. Oh my goodness. She said, girl, yeah. She said, you're gonna love it. She was playing. And so I think when I start listening to the album, I'm like, oh yeah, she was playing. She threw us some 2 singles.
Yeah.
She threw us some 2 singles. And I was like, okay, we get the album, like, girl.
And it's just like Beyonce, right? Beyonce, I've learned I don't be having no expectations because I can't even imagine what she's gonna do. So it's like it's futile for me to even try. So like might as well just let it be what it's gonna be. And let me tell you, this track number 8, Bodyguard. I don't know how y'all feel about Bodyguard. I'm a Bodyguard stan, okay? I'm sorry. When that song hits, it's groove that I just injected into my veins. Beyonce.
Oh, this is definitely a dance one. Like you can really like it. Gave me 80s, 1980s.
You know what it gave me? it gave me Fleetwood Mac. I
I can
feel
see
like
that.
it gave me a little bit of
I
the
can see
Dreams,
that.
how like that drum comes in,
I can see
and that is
that.
one of my favorite Fleetwood Mac songs. And it makes me want to like drive an old school convertible in California somewhere down the coast, dressed like a hippie, you know.
Yeah.
It
And
gives me
that
that.
is what it gave me, Wise.
I love Bodyguard.
Exactly. You said that. You said it. Driving down the coast. Literally, I said it feels like a warm, sunny day, joyriding with the top down.
Yes.
I mean, like I'm just like, yes, this is what it reminds me of. Like, and I had to look. I was like, let me see who else is on this song. Raphael Sadiq wrote on this song too.
Yeah. I can see that makes sense.
And I was like, oh my gosh, he's a genius too.
Yeah.
But I was just like, that it gives me the feel good, like top down summertime riding. I'm picturing the cowboy hat, the little, you know how you wear the little flannel shirt, but you tie it up.
With your fine piece next to you in the front seat.
Yes.
Like that's what it is. Yeah.
I'm over here like, yes, it made me feel like, okay, I'm already constructing what I'm gonna wear to the concert. I'm like, I got to order these hats. I got to right. I was like, let me get my legs together. Go to the hit the stairmaster. I need to get some. I need them Daisy Dukes. I need. That's what it just reminds you of.
Yeah.
Like, so it's real. I do love the song. It's like a real feel good, just a feel good song.
And you know, we talk about genre bending, right? It's not
it's multiple.
Country.
It's not.
Yeah,
it's like a little folk, a little bit of I don't know what
pop,
it's
a
little pop.
Yeah.
A little alternative a little bit. Like, and it's just it feeds heavily into I love alternative or indie music that sounds like that has that vibe to it. That's why I like Fleetwood Mac so much. Like that song, she wrote that for me. Bodyguard for me. When I heard that, I said, this is my jam. It's my jam.
Yeah, she did that.
And then, so I'm riding that high, right? Then we get the Dolly P interlude, baby. She's talking about a hussy. A hussy with the good hair that you sang about. I had one of those in my day too. Dolly Parton, really, Beyonce?
She got Dolly.
She got Queen Dolly on there.
And everybody loved Dolly. Can't nobody say nothing.
Yeah.
Nobody in America.
Black folks love Dolly.
Nobody in America. Black, white, Asian. Nobody got nothing to say.
Do not mess with Dolly.
About Dolly. We love Dolly Parton, okay? And I think it's just, again, so iconic that she had Dolly Parton. And then she slid right into her cover of Jolene. And let me tell you about this Jolene. She should have been Jolisha. This is
right.
She should have been I don't know. But this Jolene, this is a different kind of Jolene. When y'all heard Jolene, and she was a little different. She was Jolene from, you know.
Oh, let me tell you what gagged me. There was a couple of parts that gagged me. Okay. So in the first Jolene, the Dolly, she's begging her, please don't take my man.
Yes.
This Jolene, she's warning her that if you try it, it's not gonna end well from you. And when she said, I'm still a Creole Banji bitch from Louisiana.
No, when she said your peace depends on how you move, Jolene, your peace depends on how you move. I wrote, this is a warning, not a request. The original Jolene was a request.
It was a request. Yeah.
The original, not even a request. She said, "I'm in the original." Dolly said, "I'm begging you, leave my man alone." She said, "Listen, I know you fine, you look real good, but that's my man, and I'm begging you, please leave him alone, because that's my man. I love him." Beyonce said, "This is a warning." Okay.
She said, "Go ahead.
This is a warning."
Go ahead.
Okay. And she said, I'm gonna stand by my man and he gonna stand by me.
Okay.
And so let me say this. I could be forgetting. So if there's another song that I'm forgetting, please bring it to my attention. This is the first time I've really noticed male background vocals. Like, what other song has she, like, I don't know, but like it was prominent. So even if it was in other songs, the male background vocals
It
were
was
very prominent in this particular song.
Yeah.
And apparently on the vinyl and on the album, the male vocal that you hear is Willie Jones, who's also featured later in the album. He was more prominent. I saw a clip on Twitter that somebody had posted saying, "Oh my God, Beyonce!" Like he was like more featured as a prominent vocal on here, and it sounded good. I mean, his voice will get to him, but So
the other thing that I noticed is that she gave Dolly Parton full writing credit on her version of Jolene.
Yeah.
And I know Dolly probably didn't write that stuff that Beyonce was saying. She ain't write that.
No.
But Beyonce gave her full credit, didn't even put her name as a writing source.
Apparently, though, I believe that's what Dolly does. So I think what they said that if
you want Dolly,
if you want to do a Dolly song,
okay,
that she's not doing half credit.
I know that's right.
She earned it. I can't be mad.
I ain't mad, right?
And I'm like,
mad.
Hey,
Dolly bought her paper.
I can't.
I cannot be mad. So I get it, but that's what I saw a video or I think I saw an interview or something she did, and that's the thing. She's like, yeah, if you take my song and I let you know, and I have no problem with it. She's like, I love it, But she said, I'm get my credit, my full credit.
I ain't even mad at her. Go ahead.
You know what else I wasn't mad at? Daughter. I wasn't mad at Daughter.
Oh,
she gave her a warning and she didn't listen. Jolene, I don't know what she didn't listen.
So I got a little bit of twofold from this Daughter, because at first I think she was talking about the woman and Daughter, but then she kind of was talking about the man too. I think.
Oh, it was both. Yeah.
So
can I say this? This song,
Daughter,
also gagged me for a couple of reasons. You probably can already guess why it gagged me.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about the imagery though. This song is a story within itself.
Yes.
So the album tells a story, of course, but this particular song, from start to finish, could be could be a movie. It could be literally a scene.
I could see it
in a movie.
So visual.
The imagery is so visual. It is, you can just truly imagine every lyric that she's saying, and as she's singing, I'm imagining her going to the bathroom. I'm imagining the dress. I'm imagining the blood. I'm imagining everything that she's saying, because it's just so well written, that story that it tells. And I'm loving just the chorus. I'm loving the lyrics. I'm vibing with it.
Baby.
In the middle of the song, Beyonce, Giselle Knowles Carter, decides to start singing opera.
I mean, a whole aria.
So first of all, let me get it together. I've shared this on a podcast before, I believe. Well, if I haven't, I think Tora and Wise know this. Sometimes at night when I cannot sleep, I go through these rabbit holes. And it's been at least 3 or 4 or 5 times where I have gone through rabbit holes of watching opera singers. And then sometimes I would just do Black opera singers. And there have been times where I would watch the song, and mind you, it's in Italian. I don't know what they're saying, but I'm weeping because the emotions of the songs and the beauty of the language and how they sing the songs and their voice, it just causes me to have emotions, and I tear up. So there's like at least 3 of them that I'm thinking of right now where I recall like being in bed at night watching them, and then like having to wipe my face. So and then Beyonce has done a little bit of opera in some of her other songs before, but not to the well. This was different. This was different.
She went there fully, and I was like, finally, because like you said, we've gotten snippets here and there, and I love it. I mean, I think first of all, it's a flex for all you hoes out there that talk about Beyonce can't sing.
Oh, please.
Right.
It's a flex, because none of these girls, most of these girls
cannot.
Y'all, they want to say, oh, she can't belt like so-and-so, and she don't got the soul like so-and-so, baby, but I bet you so-and-so can't do that. I'm sorry.
No.
Beyonce has a very technical instrument that she has honed, and when she flexed.
And
it's very controlled.
Flexed.
And
I can imagine her singing this. I can imagine her singing this on tour. She's not going to strain. She's going to sit at that microphone. Her mouth will barely be open.
It's going to be easy.
And it's going to be so easy. We're going to be sitting there in awe.
We're going to be crying.
I'm going to
imagine how we went off when she did the Arabian note on a damn Drunken Love. Imagine.
Yeah.
Call the ambulance. When she sings this song, And
laid out.
I'm gonna be laid out. They're gonna
Yes.
carry me out of there because
Yeah.
I already know how she get down.
When I listened to that and she started speaking in Italian, I said, wait a minute. No, she ain't about to do this to me. Because when I tell you I love and Beyonce get on her opera shit, okay? Like, I remember when she had did it when we went to the concert. Was it the Mrs. Carter? Well, which concert was it? When she did the when it was like the Regal with the
that
crown and
yes.
everything.
It was the promo for Mrs.
When she
Carter's
did the
show.
promo, I was like,
Yes.
I need more of this.
Yes.
Like, Beyonce, you were teasing us. I need more of this.
I had chills during that. During the promo, chills, my goosebumps.
People didn't think it was her. They didn't.
They didn't.
I don't know how. I used to tell it was her. She was getting it. So when she did that in that song, mind you, going back to this, like you said, the beginning of the song and the imagery that you can see, this is where I said, okay, Beyonce, I know we've been on your nerves. I know this, but we're gonna need the visuals. I need the visuals. Like, you cannot. Once I heard this song, and then I went back and of course played the whole album over multiple times. I'm like, I need the visuals. You have to put together something because this is a movie. Like, I need, like, literally, I could imagine her going through the saloon doors.
Right, like after she done did it.
Yes,
it was so perfect.
Like, I can just imagine like the scenery. Like, this is where I said, Beyonce, I need. Please don't forget us. We need the visuals. But the emotion again, this song, I just was like, OMG, I don't know what she's saying. This Italian. But apparently it is an Italian song that Italians are very familiar with. They're like, oh my God, she's singing Mia Bella Canto. I don't know what it was called, but they were like, it was something like that. So they know it. And so I was seeing reactions of people who were of Italian, background saying like they was gagged. They was like, what? Like, what? Beyonce, are you serious? So it was just beautiful to me. And I think this is where I had that break where I said, no, we need those visuals, Beyonce. I was giving you I wasn't trying to pound you with the Renaissance. I really wasn't even trying to be, I was trying to keep my cool. But this is where I said, Beyonce, I'm on your ass. We need it.
When you and I know I don't want to be the dead horse, but I just wrote brief little things about the imagery because if you listen to it, I could see so many things, but the lyrics, there was a lot of imagery of Catholicism in the song. I don't know if anybody picked up on this, if you noticed it. She's talking about prayer. She's talking about saints. She's talking about rosaries. She's talking about altars, choir boys, hymns. Then she goes into this aria. I'm like, first of all, I need the visuals, but also it's like, Beyonce, I feel like it needs to be a movie. Like, I could just see it. And then when she ends the song, I'm colder than Titanic waters. I could just see the Titanic sinking. I don't know. It's just, I don't.
You know what I saw?
I
saw her blowing up the gun with the smoke. The smoke coming off.
Because she was talking about she was coming after the chick, but she's after coming after the man when she says, how long can he hold his breath? Water, Titanic.
Yeah.
But Beyonce, and I really needed that for you.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
And then when I say this, it took a turn.
Another shift.
We got Spaghetti, which starts out with an intro from Linda Martell, who was a famed R&B singer who tried to do the crossover country back in the 60s and 50s, and they wasn't having it. And I believe is this the one where she's talking about the genres?
Yes.
And she says genres, they're a funny little thing, aren't they? And she's kind of playfully talking about how, like, genre bending. And I feel like that was the perfect place to put it because, like I said, this was a hard left, a good one.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't expecting it. But it was a hard left.
Because we go from this opera song to, I guess hip hop.
I mean, she was rapping. So, I
She was
mean,
Yep.
straight up. It was Beyonce straight
Yes.
up, rapping, spitting bars.
Again, I just was saying again the genre infusions. Like she just doing
mhm,
her thing. She's doing Beyonce. She's doing
And
Beyonce.
it felt like classic Beyonce because it felt like it was two songs in one.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Because she's rapping, and I don't know how to pronounce this man's name. Is it Shabuze?
Shabuzi.
Shabuzi. I think it's
Shabuzi.
Shabuzi.
He comes in and he starts to rap on the second half of the song. So, but it felt different when he began.
Mhm.
So it definitely gave us that old school where Beyonce used to mesh more than one song together. Though we
Mm-hmm.
got that old school classic beat,
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, I appreciated fully the transition because she's rapping and it's a whole beat. It's a and then it slows down and we get this little groove and we get
Mm-hmm.
Shabuzi whose voice is like.
Right.
First of all, I'm glad the two male features, Willie Jones and Shabuzi. I appreciate when I listen to music. Most of the time, I listen to female artists because I like female artists, females music voices better a little bit because I think sometimes male voices, everybody want to sing high pitched all the time. They always want to do the little. They
Falsetto.
trying to be cute, and that's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool for what it's worth. I appreciate it here and there, but I like the full,
Yeah.
deep man voice. Like it's just so rich. Their voices were so rich and provided such texture. And I'm like, I got to get into Shabuzi because I love the way he slid on the end of that song.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, he did good. He did real good.
And then again, a whole nother, I don't want to say a whole nother genre, but a different feel.
Different feel.
Alligator
Mm-hmm.
Tears.
Mm-hmm.
Alligator Tears. What did y'all think about Alligator Tears? Because I got some thoughts. And I don't know if y'all heard what I heard. But
Oh, I heard what you heard. So let me tell you something right now. Well, first of all, for me, it gave the country vibe for sure with the guitars in the beginning. So we definitely have that country vibe. The lyrics stood out to me, right? She talks about, building a dam and moving the mountain. But sister, I can't change my religion.
Okay.
you ain't in it like she was in it, okay?
I want to be in it that deep. I can't change my religion for somebody. But I thought it was fun that she called it alligator tears and not crocodile tears. And I'm like, okay, is this something colloquial? Like, I'm used to hearing crocodile tears. I don't know. I don't know if there's an answer to that. If anybody out there knows, let me know. Like, is that something different? Was that a play? Why did she call it alligator tears and not crocodile tears?
Right.
What's up with that?
Well, I say what you was gonna say because I might be thinking or saying what you probably gonna say.
Okay. I don't know.
Go ahead.
Well, I don't know why she chose alligator tears. It sounds better to me. Like I'm hearing it in my head between the two. And alligator tears flows off the tongue a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of the cadence with which she sang alligator tears and that whole little part of the song, I don't know if it's a chord, a chorus, a rhythm, a melody. I don't know what it is because I don't study music. But stay with me. I was hearing a little bit of Prince.
Yes.
I was hearing some Prince, just a little bit. It was something about the way she's alligator tears. I don't know if it's the cadence. I don't know what it was.
It's the monotone of it all. Like, I feel like it's how I'm trying to think of a song by Prince. Since you said it, I hear him.
I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think
even
of
like on a little bit like a Darling Nikki. And he's singing the verses on Darling Nikki. It gives that I don't know the technical term, like why I said we didn't study.
Yeah.
So I don't know the technical terms of these things, but you say move a mountain.
It just
man or girl named Nikki. But it got exactly the same rhythm. Like
I don't know what it was. I said, Beyonce, I'm hearing a little bit of Prince.
Yeah.
I also really love Prince. So I'm like, oh, Beyonce, that was the vibe that I was getting. And I didn't hear anybody else mention that. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I'm going to put it out there.
No, you said it. I didn't hear it until, I didn't think about it, but as
So
soon
you
as you
said
said it, I said,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, yeah. I could hear it all day.
So I was going to talk more about the meaning behind it because I've been.
Okay.
So what do you guys think? Because when I kind of heard it at first, it said, it kind of reminded me of a little country love song a little bit. Like
Hmm.
she deep into her man or whatever. But then I saw some other people's takes, and they start to say that they thought it was her talking about white women tears. So
Oh.
I was like, I didn't really get that when I listened to it at first, but I'm like, I don't know. I thought it
I
was about her
got
being so in love with this man. Like, I'm gonna do whatever you say.
I got like unrequited love. Like you're doing everything you can for this person and they're not appreciating it. And so
Mm-hmm.
the alligator tears are not moving you anymore. Like that's what I was
Mhm.
getting. I
Yeah.
didn't really
Mhm.
get, but I don't know. I might have to
Well,
listen again.
I just want to say, I think it's funny because I've been seeing so many different takes on the songs on the album, and there has been so many people with like I feel like outlandish and outrageous takes of what these songs they think mean. Like turning, and again, every art, this is art.
Yeah.
Perception, art,
Mhm.
everybody has different perceptions of art. So I guess I'll let people have those perceptions. You can have your own perceptions. But I have been having a good time seeing people's um responses or what they think these some of these songs mean. I'll just say that.
Everybody trying to go viral, so you
Yeah.
gotta be, and I ain't mad. Do what because we want to go viral too, okay? So, but I'm just saying, some
Yeah,
people
yeah.
try and pull stuff out just to be a little
Right. But I
controversial.
thought it was like a good old I said, dang, she loved Jay. Like
Oh,
that's
girl.
what I felt like. This is like, girl, you just love you some Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
Well, next up we get our second interlude from Willie Nelson, Smoke Hour 2. And this is the one where he says, sometimes you don't know what you miss until somebody you know and trust puts you on to some good.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And that's so true. And he says, shout out to Beyonce because this is what you about to get just for fun. Here we go. Um, just for fun. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. After hearing that interlude, I wasn't expecting it to be just for fun.
Mhm.
It was a little slower than what I was
Yeah.
expecting
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because the way he was like, this is about to be that jam. I'm like, okay, what's up? And not that just for fun is not a bad song, but it wasn't what I was expecting after that. And I'm gonna be honest, I had to listen to it a couple of times before I kind of understood the meaning of it. I recognized it as being a good song and being beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
melodically, and like I said, that this is the one where
Mhm.
Willie Jones was on the end of, who also just his voice I really really loved, the deep and the rasp. So I loved it, loved it musically, but I didn't get the sentiment or like the what it was
Right.
about lyrically right away. I think I have a little bit of a sense of it now, but I'm wondering what you guys thought when you first heard it.
I remember in the intro, I could hear the harmonica. So I had a feeling that it was going to give us a country vibe, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But it was very much very much so that a slower, right? A slower tempo song. I hate to say this, and I don't mean to sound ridiculous, but I had never heard of Willie Jones before.
Mhm.
But
I hadn't
apparently
either.
Yeah.
he's been pretty popular, and he was on X Factor and whatnot. He's from Louisiana, and so once I heard the song, I said, okay, he's real deal, Holyfield.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, if I didn't know any better, I would have thought it was a white man singing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But it was really, I really enjoyed the vocals on that song.
Yeah, I think for me too. I think when I heard him come on, I was like, wow, he has a beautiful voice. Like I just
Mm-hmm.
was
Mhm.
listening and
Beautiful.
I'm like, oh, he has a really, really nice voice. Obviously I didn't know who he was either. And I looked him up because like Wesley said, I thought he was a white man. But I think that's what also is good about this album because it's turning you on to so many other artists that you
Mm-hmm.
like, let me look into and
Yeah.
support because we like this music. It's like we don't have to just listen to one type of music. We can listen to
Yeah.
all kinds of music, So I just remember listening to it like this feels like a good song. Like you could just relax, chill on a
Mm-hmm.
summer day on a rocking chair, like whatever. If you like to do a little smoke, you do your smoky cigar, whatever you do. Like I just thought it was like a little chill, like laid back tune. And I just remember saying, like, man, he has a beautiful voice. And I did look him up. So yeah, I think it's a nice, chill, relaxing song.
When we obviously we talked about we were avoiding the album for a few days, and so I was seeing people talk about it online, and people kept saying, what if Act 3 is a gospel album, or she got gospel elements on this album? And I'm like, oh, okay, let me, what is this? And then when I heard this song, I said, oh, this must be what they're talking about, because at the end of the song, they kind of have this crescendo, and it feels like a choir, and it's echoing. And I really just love the way that she took that song out with that choir at the end. That was just that felt down to my good Kojic soul. We're not really Kojic, but it felt homey, it felt churchy, a little bit of gospel.
Yeah.
And I love how, again, she's including all these genres and all these elements and connecting them together, and really how much connected musically gospel and country and blues and R&B are all interconnected as genres. It just kind of fit perfectly.
Like she said, mixing and blending the genres.
Mixing and blending.
Yep.
And speaking of mixing and blending, my God, Two Most Wanted featuring Miley Cyrus. I grew up watching Hannah Montana. Love me some Miley. Even when she was doing her own solo actual music, I rock with Miley. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever expect to hear Beyonce and Miley Cyrus on a song together. Never in my life. Never. I just never thought it. And now I can't imagine my life without it. This song is so good. Miley's voice is so rich and raspy, and oh my God, does she smoke cigarettes? I mean, I don't know what it is.
She probably does.
I think she probably does. It helps. I mean,
not sure.
No, I'm not saying this bad.
I thought she always had a little rasp.
She always had a little rasp, but I mean, it was deep on here. And her and Beyonce coming together with these harmonies that blend when they were stacked.
First of all, I think what really surprised me or got me was that Miley opened the song.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay, so the very first, few lines is Miley singing the song, which I thought was an interesting choice. And don't go off on me about this, but Miley Cyrus is a little after me. So when she was up and coming, I was not watching Hannah Montana.
Right.
So I hadn't really listened to any Miley's music. I knew who she was, of course. I probably know some of the hits, the major hits, but the lyrics of the song are so beautiful.
Yeah.
And it almost another one of those emotional songs, because it makes you think about people in your life who you are ride or die for, ride or die with, who was your shotgun partner,
shotgun rider,
your shotgun rider. And it gave me Thelma and Louise, but not on the back. just and I don't know if you've ever seen the movie, but oh my gosh, at the ending of the movie, but they give you that just we gonna be together, and just so beautiful.
Yeah, I think what I also noticed about her in this song is that when I look at all the features that Beyonce had on the album, I think Miley got the most time
on a song. Okay.
On a song. But their voices together just was so beautiful. Like it was like the perfect, I think, duet. And I just kept thinking about the harmonies, the harmonies in this song. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so perfect. And at the end when they till the day I die.
Yes.
I'm like,
you know what I just noticed about that today? Again, when you just notice it, they take turns doing that high note on the Till I Die I Die.
Yes.
Because I think the first time is
Miley,
and the second time is Beyonce. And they only did it twice because that's my favorite part of the song. And I'm like, oh my God, I wish they would have did it again.
I know. It's a beautiful song, but it definitely makes you feel about your bestie, your writers, your, whatever. And I've been seeing people talking about they might remind them of their mom or it's just beautiful. Again, I also kind of get that we had drop top me and my rollie whatever vibe so I think it is a beautiful Beautiful, beautiful song. And I appreciate Miley on that song. I do.
Yeah.
I think she did a wonderful job. Her voice was amazing and they complemented each other well. And like I said, them harmonies, they killed it.
Listen, I'm gonna put this out there. Don't nobody steal my shit. I don't know when I'm getting married. I don't know who I'm getting married to. But I'm playing that song at my wedding.
Oh yeah.
I'm playing that song at my wedding. It might be the first dance. I don't even know if I'm having a wedding. I don't know. I don't know. But that's
Listen.
something I'm putting my foot down on. I don't know who you are out there. If you're
Okay.
watching, if we get married, that song is on the playlist.
Is that that could be the when you walk out and you go to the car and they got the Just Marry sign on the back and you rolling out in the old school.
Right.
This is what I'm telling you, the visuals I'm seeing.
Listen, right. Just married. Right. Listen, I'm
And
playing.
I don't know why, but for me, for a visual, this song is gonna be in black and white.
Yes.
I'm not seeing color in this song.
I literally saw black and white myself.
I saw black and white for daughter too. Like I just feel like
I kind of got that vibe a little bit for black and white.
I do.
I did get that for daughters too. Or I could even see maybe daughters like starting black and white and then at the end coming into color. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely for Two Most Wanted, I can see a black and white vibe.
Two Most Wanted. Oh my goodness. And then speaking of unexpected, again, Beyonce doing things we would never ever imagine. Levi's jeans with Post Malone. I mean,
shocked the hell out of me. I didn't know he was a singer. I mean, I'm not the biggest Post Malone person, but I thought that was a rapper.
He was.
Oh, okay.
He was a rapper.
He came out. I feel like right around my freshman year of college. With White Iverson, and he was a rapper.
We kind of sang in that song a little bit.
I mean, he kind of sang a little bit. He did.
Yeah.
But White Iverson was his first like big hit that everybody knew him from, and that's how I got introduced to him in college and stuff. And so when I heard this song, I was like, "Oh, this is different."
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I definitely heard it, and I was like, "Oh, this is different." I didn't expect him to be on this song, but I did see someone talking about it, and they put me on because, again, I think he was a little bit after my time for what I would say I would get into. I heard, the White Iverson song and things like that, but apparently he's a big deal to some people. And I saw someone saying how basically Post Malone, he has crossed genres a lot.
I've heard that.
So I've heard them saying he does rap, he does pop, he does, he not country, R&B. So he has been one who has crossed, all the different genres. And they said that he actually has 8 diamond singles. A lot of the songs that he has, and they go off So they were like kind of, I think it was someone on TikTok I saw that was talking about this, was saying like, Beyonce did her research when she decided to put him on because he is one that kind of goes across the different genres and people love him and his stuff takes off. So I was like, okay, all right, girl. She tuned in. Beyonce is tuned in. I will say we know that she will be tuned in to what's going on and she's gonna put you on to some stuff because again, he's not someone that I would ever expected that she would do a song with.
Unexpected, but it worked. It worked for me. Like it's a smooth groove. It's definitely tried and true country. And I really enjoyed the song. Part of me was feeling like I was hearing another song, a little interpolation. I don't know if this is accurate, but this is what my ear was hearing. Apparently, I don't even know what this song is. I don't know if this is accurate. Apparently, it's called "Your Man" by Josh Turner. But if you've probably heard it when you'll know it when you hear it rather. And it's like, baby, lock the doors and turn the lights down low. Something on the way was slow.
I don't know.
Y'all probably have heard it. Because I've heard that, and I was like, I feel like I'm getting a little bit of that vibe. If you know that song, tell me if you can hear that too. But it definitely was unpopular pairing, but it worked for me. I actually like the song. I think it's very cute little groove.
Yeah, it was a cute groove.
And then we slide into another song that was too short in my opinion. Beyonce. Flamenco. What did you guys think of Flamenco?
Well, to me, I felt like another shift. I feel like because once I heard
Wesley,
flamenco, I said, "Oh, we going somewhere
Wesley,
else.
you were right.
We
I
doing something
literally
else."
put in my notes by flamenco a little star, and
Uh-huh.
I said, "This is when the album starts to feel like Renaissance Act One." For
Mm.
me, after flamenco and on down, it started to mesh with Renaissance for
Yeah.
me.
That was what I noticed immediately. I said, "Oh, I
Yeah.
see. We're
Mhm.
switching it up."
So for me, obviously, this is another song that evoked emotion as well. I love the guitar melody on this one, and her vocal acrobatics. Like Beyonce loves to do her little up and down, like girl.
Hmm.
And a lot of people that singers will say that she is not easy to cover
Mhm.
when she be doing her vocal acrobatics.
Yeah.
But again, when it comes to the song and like the songwriting and the meaning behind everything, again, I think again multiple things involving meanings. Do you think she's talking about retirement in this song? Because I'm nervous. Oh.
I've already told y'all how I feel like I ain't never heard no artist do no three album project, and I feel like this might be the coup de grace.
Like after her big
But
one, she did her big
I
one.
don't. Yeah, I'm like that's what I don't know. I mean, I don't want that to be the case.
But it would make sense if she's
But it
literally
would
doing
make sense.
almost every genre of music possible in these next three albums or these last three albums. I just think she loves music so much. I don't know, unless she wants to do something else. But
Mhm.
You know, I don't know if that's what it really means, but I must say this is this line from this song, and I was just
what
like,
line is it?
she said, "I hope that you know once it's over, and take what you love. So hold me closer.
Mm.
Realize that you don't know what you've got until it's gone."
I don't like that. Cause I get Beyonce withdrawals. Okay, like
Now,
I be having stretches of time where it's like, okay, Beyonce, I need you to give me something.
the reason why I will say I don't know if I don't think she's ready for retirement yet, because obviously I feel like she's such a creative. I think that she
Yeah.
thrives on her creativity and being able to express it.
For
So
sure.
I don't think she's ready yet. But that did scare me a little bit. So I'm like, Beyonce, what you talk about, girl? Like,
I mean, that is a scary thought because I will say, like, once Renaissance, like the tour was done, you could feel just this little
Emptiness.
emptiness. Like, it's
like what's going
Beyonce
we need
gone.
you.
Because she takes up so much
We need
space. It's so expansive. It's an immersive experience. You're enthralled in this thing. And then when it's done, it's like, well, what the hell I'm gonna do now? Like Miss Juicy said, what the hell we gonna do now?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can ask Linda Martell as we watch the Linda Martell show, because we slide into this Linda Martell show where she talks again about this next track covering a range of genres. And baby, a range of genres was covered. It's called
Yeah.
Yaya. Well, now, no, this was the one. I'm gonna be honest. With Yaya, the first time I listened to it, I said, I don't know what just happened.
Oh, I stopped. I stopped in my tracks.
I'm like, what is this? And I had to go back to it again. And now I feel like I got what she was. I picked up what she was putting down. And if I am correct, Beyonce, I don't think I'm gonna be ready for Act 3. If this is what it's leaning towards.
Oh, it was definitely given Tina Turner.
Wesley.
Which, I mean, it was Tina Turner.
Giving Ike and Tina Turner review.
It is giving Ike and Tina Turner review.
Yep.
And it was like, so first of all, Tina Turner, rock star, rock singer, right? Which
I don't know how I feel about Tina. I don't know if I've expressed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's who I thought of immediately. And
yeah.
Honestly, like when I tell you I wanted to jig, like I was like, oh, I need to drop it. I need to two-step, I need to shake. I don't know what it is with the song. I mean, you're gonna be up. You want to get up and dance. And I wanted the old school dance. I want to do the Watusi, and I want to do the
yes,
the twist and shout,
the shout, and whatever else I can think of. All the other old school dances. That's what it was given.
When I heard this song, I mean, I said this is definitely a clash of the genres. I felt like not only I specifically wrote down Tina Turner. I even got a little Etta James in there because of the way she was doing her growling and her like her
Mhm.
belting. I said, okay, I can do a little Tina Turner up in there, a little Etta James in there. It gave me very funk and rock and roll
Mhm.
and
Uh-huh.
60s
Yes.
vibes. It gives me the go-go. Like
Yes.
it just that's
Yes.
all I could think about. And I just was like, when she hit that at the end of the song, the low register, if you ain't from this, if you ain't got no grit, get the that I was like Beyonce. Like that, I was like, girl. That
You know what it was reminiscent of for me? Now stay with me. Remember when we were at the Mrs. Carter show and she did Why Don't You Love Me? And she did the breakdown of why, and it was the back and forth, and it gave me, it was reminiscent of that for me, which also is still reminiscent of that, like you
yes.
said, Tina Turner, old school rock and roll, 60s, 50s
Go.
vibe.
It's
And I was
that
like,
boom,
oh,
boom, that like fast paced drum that
yes.
but with the funk, with the rock, with the
Mhm.
like all of that. It reminded me of when she
Mhm.
had the mamas and just
Yes.
Right.
like it just brought me back to that. And I was just thinking about how when she was on that tour and even how that the visuals of the colors and the just
Right.
I'm like, this is what's getting like and just know and then going back to this is Beyonce because she
Right.
has done these things
Before.
already.
Right.
This is not
Not new.
new.
For her.
And
It's
if you
not.
ain't in the hive, you don't know she done this before.
Right. And this is why I appreciate it so much more, because we all know that these are things that Beyonce has been passionate about for a long time. It's been all throughout her
Yep.
discography.
Mhm.
And so it's not a surprise, really, it shouldn't be, that she's tapping into this. But it's just like so good. It's so good.
Mhm.
And part of the reason why I said this part of the album reminded me of Renaissance, because we started to get some of the song to song transitions
Yep.
that we got on Renaissance. And if
Mhm.
I'm remembering correctly, Yaya kind of slides right into Oh Louisiana.
Yeah, it does.
What did you guys think of Oh Louisiana? I liked it. It was it's different, it's a little weird, but I like it for some reason.
I assume it's an interlude, right? I don't think is it a
So
song.
it looks like because I was trying to figure out too, like, is this a song? I think that she obviously changed the vocals a little bit and stripped it
Yeah.
down, but it looks like this was actually cut from a Chuck Berry song.
Yeah.
So Chuck Berry,
Yeah.
So I think she might have tweaked it a little bit, made it kind of like her interlude, but it's actually from a
Mhm.
Chuck Berry song.
Yeah, I saw that as well. I don't know. I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's
I don't
cute.
know. The vibe is there for me. It's there for me. And then Beyonce, she did her big one. I'm actually kind of pissed. I'm actually kind of angry
Short.
because this song is too short.
Short.
Beyonce, Desert Eagle,
So let me just say, all the way funk. Get me
all
a
the
funk
way.
vibe, and it definitely gave me Rufus and Shaka Khan and Rufus.
Yep.
Okay.
It was so. It
That
was
bass,
that bass and that guitar.
It made me think of the Parliament.
baby.
I see that. It was giving me the bass line to tell me something good though. Like it was just very much so funk. It was, I don't know.
And then if you listen, I don't know. I feel like I'm not my ears, because I feel like not until a couple days ago that I hear at the beginning of the song she's singing "Dosey."
Yeah.
Before she even get to the song, and then it's oh my god, that song is too short. The bass line is insane. There's a deagle in the middle, yeah. Oh my god.
That's that Beyonce. We knew you was a little freaking leak. But
I know, right?
Apparently, and I meant to Google. Apparently, this has multiple meanings. I don't know nothing about that. But she was talking about Desert Eagle in the backseat. Beyonce.
She was talking her stuff. I know what she's talking about a little bit. A girl.
Girl.
Okay.
That song is too short.
I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at it.
It's too short. And then she turns around and give us a little. I said, Beyonce, where is this? Are we square dancing? What is this? The Irish dancing? What is this?
It was
on
a
the song
and a blending of the genres for number 2.
Right.
River Dance.
Did they give you country mixed with house? That's what they gave me.
It gave Wesley, I literally wrote, it sounds like Renaissance Act 1 with the echoes in the background. she's blending it
Bounce
all
Up and
together.
Bounce It Up. And it was definitely
You know what?
country
I
pop.
think this was one song that I was like, this could have been on Renaissance.
Yes.
Like it could have been like a part of the Renaissance.
It's where they start to connect with those transitions that come together. And this song is again where it make you want to get up and dance. Bounce on the shit. Bounce on the, oh, Beyonce. What?
Like I got me some new workout songs.
It's like, yeah, but it was just definitely gonna dance to that one.
Yes,
For sure.
For sure. And then again, we get a little slide and transition into Two Hands to Heaven.
Now, this right now, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's got me in a chokehold. This song has got me in the chokehold. This is my song. Okay. Now, when Wise talked about don't nobody steal this, this will be played at my head, at my marriage, at my wedding. I don't know when and who it's gonna be, but this.
To me, this is classic Beyonce.
Yeah,
it was a classic R&B song, classic Beyonce song. Like this could have been on any of her other albums, and like it would have made sense. It was just classic Beyonce.
When I tell you the harmonies, the stacked harmonies in this song, like
my notes literally say vocals and layering. The vocals and the layering.
It gives you that old school love song vibe, like the emotion in it, and like the I am going to simp for you. I'm going to like I don't care what nobody say. Like, and I'm already enjoying, like I'm hearing people do mashups and stuff with the song, and they're doing it with like I think Caters, was it Caters to You?
I think I saw that one. Yeah,
there's some other stuff, and everybody kept saying like, okay, so on the obviously the album drops on the digital platforms, but then there's the CD that comes in the special boxes and stuff. Right. And they're saying that the CD version is longer and she's got even more ad libs and stuff on this song. Yep. And I said, OMG, like it's giving you that harmony. Like a lot of people are comparing it to like the old school 90s music with the boy bands and stuff, that the harmony, even Destiny's Child, even the harmonies, like the Jodeci's and the Boyz II Men type,
New Jack Swing,
like and I'm like, oh my, and I love that era. So this is just right up my alley. But this song I can't get out of my head. I cannot, like it. This is, I'm living it. I'm breathing it. Like, well, this is it for me.
Tori, we're gonna have to we gonna be racing to the altar because I also put that this is gonna be a song for my wedding.
You had the other one, so
whoever get there first. I can't make no promises. I'm just letting you know right now. Woo. And then, baby, we get the my goodness.
Wait, before we go on, the other part of this song that I love is, again, it's like two songs in one. Yes. So you start off with this one melody and tempo, and then you switch, and it's like a whole new song. Again, Beyonce loves to do this, and I love when she does it. I need more. So,
and then we slide into another interlude, another little splice from Miss Dolly P. And she said, Queen Bee, Honey Bee, it's time to turn this out. And when I tell you Beyonce took that to heart, she said, I should turn it. Dolly said, turn it. Yeah. When she slid into Tyrant, it starts all nice. It's got a little clap.
It's real cute. It's real cute. Right. Mid tempo at the beginning, little something for the house, yang.
And then that beat drops.
Because her and Dolly is singing on that front end. Her and Dolly, you can hear Dolly vocals too, singing on that front end.
That beat drops.
And it makes you just want to
violin strings. Oh my goodness. When you talk about twerking, dropping it down to the ground.
She giving a little singing and rapping at the same time. Yep. So we get a little bit of both. That beat drop. And to me, it gave me, I mean, I'm going to say this, and the people might not agree with me, but it gave me, I'm chilling in the lounge in Atlanta. It gave me, like, I'm smoking my hookah. I don't smoke hookah, but if I did, I'd be smoking my hookah, and I would just have my drink, and I would just be vibing. It straight up gave me a vibe.
It's an anthem. This is the one where
Yeah.
it turned on. If they play this in certain places, I'm gonna have to be containing my twerk because like you know how like I be trying to be conservative.
I thought all about twerking. I thought I wasn't thinking about no smoking hook or nothing. I was thinking about how I'm gonna drop it, pop it, lock it. I'm a tyrant. Okay, I'm going to drop it. That's
she
what
said,
I
"You
felt.
ain't ready for this. I'm a tyrant every time I ride it." Beyonce, and
it gave me when I say hook, I'm thinking like, okay, lounge-esque place, right?
Yeah.
dark.
Then like dark, right? Smoky and dark, right?
Smoky.
So, smoky and dark.
Mhm.
I'm sitting down
Right,
drinking and smoking my fake hookah, but the lady next to me bent over on her man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it's giving me. Like, okay, she bent over on her man. I'm just vibing like, get it, girl, get it. That's
it
what
gave me. It gave me a little bit of 6 inch. It gives me like where Beyonce gets into this, and I relate to this. Don't ask me. Don't ask me no questions. Beyonce has this thing where she is like, and she's talked about it before, where she wants to be this like empowering seductress. She wants to be like the apple of the object of somebody's affection. She wants that, and it's like it's so many songs where she's like channeling that 6 inch and flawless and partition. Like she wants to be that. This is what that is, and that speaks to me.
You know what else it speaks to me? It speaks to the Pink down in Chuckalisa.
Yes,
I can see myself
giving the Pink. Yes.
I literally thought in my mind,
fantasy,
Magic City.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why y'all said I said Atlanta. It's giving me like
Magic City.
Magic City. It's giving me like like lounge, like I'm sitting here and I got my drink and it's smoky in the air and it's dark, but then I'm seeing like this overlay of like red or pink, like I don't know, and then this beautiful woman comes out on the stage.
Right,
and she does her. You know what those dancers do? They mesmerize the audience, right? When that woman gets on that stage,
that's
and
you in a
that song
trance.
comes on, you are in a trance, and that's what it was giving like that trance feel when you see that. So it was definitely giving me Mercedes and Down to the Pain.
I was about to say Mercedes special. It's giving the Mercedes special for sure.
Yes,
and I loved it. I loved it
every bit.
And then when you thought it was over, Sweet Honey Bucket.
3 different songs.
3
different songs.
3 different songs. Give us a triple dose.
3 different songs. No pun intended.
Right.
It starts all cute, sweet. It starts real sweet, soft and sweet.
Mm-hmm.
She slides into Honey, which I love. I love Honey. It's very smooth again, and then she gives us Buckin'.
She gets to the grits, the gritty.
And when I tell you, when I hear Buckin', I transform into I'm in stands with Miss Diana. I'm a dancing doll, baby. And I'm bucking, okay? Bucking like the dancing dolls.
Go to the flow.
I'm bucking. Spread eagle squatted down. How they was doing with the dancing dolls. I call Miss Diana. I'm bucking. I'm a dancing doll. What?
It ain't much I can say. The song takes you on a ride. That's all I can say. And of course, each title goes along with the song. So, like we said, 3 songs on one. The sweet has that sweet. The honey is real smooth and sticky. And then that bucket is just real live.
And we get a little bit of Shabuzi again.
Yeah, we do.
I love that. I love the repeating beat, the repeating background vocals. It's reminiscent of Renaissance.
Yep.
With the repetition and that kind of house sound. And I just love when she says, I don't even know what she's saying on that part in Honey, where she's coming to me tonight, and it's just like, oh my goodness, Beyonce. Buckin' is a twerk anthem. Woo. And then she closes it out with the appropriately named Amen as a closure. Of course, putting a stamp on it.
Yep.
The vocals. I was emotional.
It's the vocals. It's the reverting back to American Requiem for me. It's the fact. Oh, so okay, this is all going together.
Back together.
So if you didn't figure it out by now, you should have. Once you heard Amen.
Right.
And I love the writing. Again, back to the writing and the
Mhm.
storytelling. I mean, she talked to me the way I interpret it. She talked about America being built on lies. She
Yeah.
talked about how we gotta like cleanse of our forefather sins. Like,
Right.
it just again evoking the more emotion and taking it back to the American Requiem.
This is another one of the songs that I felt like kind of leaned into the gospel esque of the sound with the choir at the end. And I just love how she tied it right back to American Requiem. We could just run it back straight from back to the beginning, run it back over and over and over again.
This
And
all I
so,
can
if we had to
say,
think about it as a whole, as you listen to America, oh, I
No,
was
go
gonna
ahead,
say when
Wesley.
you
yeah.
look at it as a whole, when you hear American Requiem, it's like this idea of, okay, we gotta what America traditionally thinks or thought that quote unquote American music is, that idea gotta die, right? And then I'm about to prove it to you and show you why what y'all thought it was is untrue and what it really is. And then she just closed it up like, I'm done. I showed you. I told you. Straight up.
Yeah. I just wanted to say overall though, I just love this album. Beyonce done it. You've done it again. You've done it again. I every time she comes back out, I just be thinking like, how can she top
How
this?
can
How
she
can she
do it?
top
Yeah.
this? How can she top this? And I'm like,
How?
and I'm even asking her to top it. I'm just like, I'm flabbergasted that she's topped it. Like,
She's done this ever since Beyonce. Like
Self-titled.
ever since self-titled. I mean, that's 4 albums. I'm like,
yes.
she can't. How can she do more than this? And then she does it.
And
And it's like, how can she do more? And she does it.
it speaks to her genius. It speaks to her creativity as an
Mhm.
artist. I
Work
don't
ethic.
understand her work ethic. I don't understand how anyone could hate on her as an artist, as a creative, what she has given to us. She worked hard. I don't, at this point right now, I can't say another artist works as
Mm-mm.
hard as she does.
No.
No,
And they
it's just
bite
not
No.
they
possible.
bite off of her ideas. You know what I mean?
No.
She set these bars and they go and try to emulate and do the same thing that she has done.
But you know what it is? I think it's Beyonce. She's in a league of her own for one,
Oh
but
yeah.
she does things that are true to her and her heart and her desires, and she's a true student of music. I think a
Mhm.
lot of
Yes,
these
yes.
artists,
Absolutely.
there are great and talented artists out there. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like, and part of this is because Beyonce has amassed this. She doesn't have to really answer to anybody else, and I think other artists do probably still have to, and that's part of this as well. But I think she's willing to do something that hasn't been done before. She's not afraid. I think a lot of artists stick to what works.
Mm-hmm.
And you can listen to, and now this is no shade, but you can listen to some of the girls and even some of the guys, these rappers, they doing what has worked for them and they're just doing it over and over again. And it's
And
fine because people like it. But Beyonce, none of this stuff, nothing out there sounds like this. You
Right.
can't say that anything sounds like Cowboy Carter. You can't.
and not even just how it sounds, the meaning behind it too, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like how many albums have come out in the last 5 years, or we
10
could
years.
say, or 10 years, I say, that are just meaning, that tell good
Yeah.
stories, that
Right.
are impactful, that bring awareness, that um open the door and bring people in.
Mm-hmm.
Like she does all of that,
Mhm.
and I think she does her homework. Whereas
Yeah.
I think some people just don't do their homework and they jump into a genre and don't know or understand the history when they get into music. And for her to really take the time and do that and bring awareness the way she has done, I think it's beautiful. And it's a shame it had to come out of a hurtful experience. But this is the true essence of making lemonade out of lemons.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I will say is, we gonna have to fight for tickets for this concert because she done opened up a new
Another
fan
level.
base, and
I feel like it's just
numbers wise, this album is doing really, really well, and so it's like us true Beyonce fans, day one fans, are going to have to really fight for people.
the
For
newbies.
tickets
And that's gonna make
for
me mad.
newbies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't been here. Y'all ain't been here.
People who don't even like the album. This girl on TikTok I watched, she went to Renaissance and didn't even like Renaissance. So it's like
Crazy.
A lot of
you
people like
wasted
that.
a ticket. Like
It's a
I
lot of
don't
people
know.
like
It's
that.
just crazy. And I'm like, really though, Beyonce, can we not go on tour to 2025 though? Like I need a little bit of recuperation.
Well, I think 2025 would be the touring year because if she do like she did with Renaissance, she dropped it and let it rock for a year and then went on tour. So if she's going to follow that same trend, then she will be touring in 2025. So that gives us time to prepare because I got to get my outfit. Okay. I can't do like Renaissance. I was at the last minute trying to get my outfit together. This time I done already seen there's a black owned company that have like cowboy hats.
Well, send the link because
I
I need to go ahead and do
I
that.
think I need a hat this time. I think I'm gonna
I
go
do.
ahead and get my hat, and then I can everything else I can kind of work out. I think I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm gonna do my shorts, but you know what? I need boots too.
I
I'm
need
gonna need my
boots.
boots.
I've been wanting some cowboy boots for a minute.
They're not cheap.
They not,
I want some
Not
ever
cheap.
since
and I want a good hat. I
Jared was
want a good
wearing.
quality hat. So
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna really put in my all for this. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I should do some overalls, like short overalls, like that's like short with a
I'm
boot.
feeling real Daisy Dukes
Well,
with
I
these
don't know if
cowboy boots. And I don't know. I'm gonna get some kind of shirt if it's gonna be a little. I don't know yet, but
I'm gonna wear my cowboy
we gonna
Carter
see.
shirt. I didn't even show my cowboy Carter.
I got mines, but I don't even want to put it on yet. I'm gonna order another box too, but I gotta get ready.
It's gonna be an experience, and we gotta prepare for it. We
Mhm.
always say get ready, so you don't have to stay ready, so you don't have to get ready. And
Please.
so it's that serious. I hope that we can get closer to the stage this time around and really get down with the get down.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we share our why don't we share our top
Oh yeah,
5
yes,
and
yes.
then
Right.
and then
Wrap it on up.
wrap it up.
Woo.
So first of all, I'll go first. And then it's top 5. I'm
Okay.
not going to explain it. I'm just going to say what it is and leave it at that.
Oh,
But
sure.
it's my top 5 for today. It could change later tonight. It could change in the morning. It just kind of depends on the situation. But as of late, the last today, my top 5 are Daughter, American Requiem, Yaya, Sweet Honey Buckin, and Tyrant. Those are my top
Ooh.
Okay.
right now.
Okay, so for me, again, in no particular order, and again, this changes daily because it's only been week 1. Okay, you know how that goes, evolving. Two Hands to Heaven,
Okay.
Flamenco,
Okay.
Daughter, Tyrant, and My Rose.
I almost put that
Okay.
one.
We all chose pretty different ones. This is interesting. Okay. Again, top 5. This is not in any order because baby. Bodyguard. 2 Most Wanted. Desert Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrant. And this is a tie. I don't know which one to choose.
Pick one because we did 5.
One.
Protector.
Okay.
So we all picked Tyrant.
We did all pick
Well, I picked
Tyrant.
Tyrant. Which that tracks.
Yeah.
That tracks for us. Being Beyonce fans, that tracks.
Absolutely. I'm so excited.
Oh,
I'm happy for this new era. I am.
I am, and I'm so full. And again, I just feel so light and just joyous. Beyonce has done it yet again. She's done it yet again.
She did.
And get the we need the visuals.
Please get some visuals. I need
She ain't even teased no visuals this time. At least with Renaissance, she teased them. I'm like, okay, she got them. But now she ain't even teased nothing. So I don't know. We might be just wishing them a prayer on that.
Please. I'm asking you. I'm begging you. Like Donnie was begging.
Right.
I'm begging you. Please give me the visuals.
All right, Triple Dose family. Thank you guys for listening to our Cowboy Carter album review. We hope you enjoyed this, our new platform. We're going to try to keep this up for y'all. So share the love. Let us know what you guys think about Cowboy Carter.
Yes.
What are your top 5? What were your thoughts when you heard the album? And we will be hearing from you'll be hearing from us soon.
Peace.
Peace out, y'all.